Beloved soul, the moment you loosen your grip on who you think you are, the door begins to open. You have spent lifetimes polishing the mirror of the self, yet the face you seek has always been shining behind the dust. The beloved is not found by striving. The beloved is what remains when you melt. Loose yourself, and you will remember what you have never lost. The ego builds houses on the shore. The spirit lives in the depths. Each wave that breaks whispers, come in, but you stand, counting the ripples, naming each with fear or pride. When the tide finally reaches your feet, let it pull you under. Let the sea write its secret verses on your bones. You will not drown, you will dissolve, and that is the beginning of living. Every heart is a cup of clay placed in the furnace of longing. If you are patient with the heat, love will make you wine. Do not flee the fire. It is the workshop of God. He is the silent potter, turning you toward himself, spinning and spinning until you are hollow enough to hold his light. When you cry, "Why this pain?" he replies, "Because I am pouring myself into you." There is a tavern beyond the veil of names. No map leads there. No priest guards the door. Its entrance is the moment you surrender the need to be right. Inside, the saints and madmen drink from the same cup and call each other brother. Each drop of that wine erases a boundary between I and thou, between heaven and earth, between the question and the answer. Drink, beloved, until even the cup forgets it is a cup. The moon does not worry about reflecting the sun. It simply turns its face and shines. So too must you cease trying to be holy. Just face the holy. The light will do the rest. When you become a window instead of a wall, grace flows through like wind, through the reeds, playing music you never practiced. You ask, how can I lose myself without vanishing? Ah, my dear, you have mistaken the costume for the dancer. When the robes fall, the dance remains. You are not the name given to you by trembling parents. You are the breath that moved through them when they called you to life. The divine did not shape you to worship fear. He spun you from music. When you remember that, the walls of separation crumble like old sand castles. And you laugh, because the ocean was always yours. Love is not a sentiment, it is a demolition. It tears down all that is not real, so that reality can breathe through you. Each time you say I love you, let it mean I am disappearing into you. Let it mean the flame and the moth have become the same light. The lover's tragedy is the soul's liberation. When the ego dies, the world is reborn in color. Close your eyes. The universe is not outside. It hums inside your chest. Stars spin in the silence between two heartbeats. The sky was never above you. It was waiting behind your ribs. When you bow in prayer, you are aligning galaxies. When you breathe, you are reciting an ancient scripture written before language began. Each inhalation, Hu. Each exhalation, Allah. And so the body itself becomes the remembrance. The divine hides in plain sight, in the hands of a child sharing bread, in the dust rising from a caravan of dreamers, in the eyes that dare to see without defense. You have walked past God 1,000 times today and called him stranger. Look again. The next face you meet may be your own reflected in eternity. Beloved, do not be content with the stories of those who came before you. Unfold your own myth. Inside your wound lies the door to the inn. Do not cover it, enter it. The pain you flee is the place where the light enters. There is a garden blooming in the soil of your suffering, but you must kneel to see it. Bend low enough, and you will smell the rose that grows from your surrender. Every atom in you is a whirling dervish, turning for the sake of love. Do you feel dizzy? Good. That is the universe reminding you that balance is found in motion, not stillness. Spin until the mind loses its language, until all that remains is the heartbeat of God echoing through the veins of creation. Then you will know why angels envy dust. You fear being nothing, but nothingness is the royal court of the divine. In the emptiness, every note of the cosmic symphony finds its echo. The lute sounds only because of the hollow carved within it. The reed flute sings because it was cut from the reed bed. So too, your separation was necessary, so that love could hear itself. When you let go of every name, you become the name. When you release every form, you become the formless. The beloved whispers, "Return to me," but he is not elsewhere. He is the silence behind your question, the pause before your breath, the spark that turns thought into fire. Stop seeking, start burning. Beloved traveler, your path is not a line but a circle. You depart only to arrive where you began, seeing for the first time what was always there. The pilgrimage ends not at a temple of stone, but in the collapse of your search. When you kneel in defeat, God rises in you like dawn. Do you remember the day before you were born? The moment you were still an idea in the mind of God? That memory is why you ache for union. The soul has tasted perfection and cannot forget the flavor. It wanders from body to body like a moth, chasing the memory of light. When you realize that even the search is God, disguised as longing, you will stop running and start melting. Melt, beloved. Become the honey that feeds the bees of heaven. Become the flame that draws the moths of creation. Lose yourself so completely that when someone calls your name, only music answers. The world needs not more thinkers, but more lovers who have forgotten themselves in the song of God. Beloved, there is a silence deeper than thought, a river flowing beneath the noise of the world. When you fall into that current, there is no more you and I, only the shimmering of being itself. The stars are not scattered across the sky, they are scattered across your soul. And each time you remember love, one of them lights again. The universe is not expanding, it is remembering itself through your awakening. You are not small, you are infinity, taking a breath. The mind, poor mind, loves to measure. It builds walls around light and calls them beliefs. But love is a thief. It breaks into your house at midnight and steals every explanation. Then, when you wake in confusion, it hands you a candle made of wonder and whispers, "Now walk by this." What is left when your answers are gone? Only the fragrance of the rose. Only the taste of divine wine lingering on your lips. Only the realization that what you called loss was the beloved's kiss in disguise. The beloved does not want your perfection, only your surrender. Offer him your brokenness, your trembling, your half-formed prayers. He will take them all and spin them into gold. Every tear you have ever shed has watered a garden you have not yet seen. Every heartbreak was a door being carved into the fortress of your pride. You thought you were falling apart. In truth, you were being opened. Let the wind of divine madness enter your chest. Let it scatter the dried leaves of your certainty. Do not be afraid of confusion. It is the birthplace of revelation. You cannot find the truth while you still believe you know it. Step into unknowing, like a dancer steps into music. The tune will carry you. Each step is a surrender, each turn a remembrance, until the dancer and the dance are one whirl of light. You ask me, where is God? I say, it hides inside your questions. Every doubt is a seed, and when it breaks, the tree of faith grows. Do not kill your questions with fear. Water them with curiosity. One day they will bloom into understanding, and you will find that God has been speaking to you through your confusion all along. The soul was not made to live on the surface. It is a pearl lying deep in the sea of being. The divers of the world may bring up treasures of gold and fame, but the true seeker dives into silence. He disappears for a long time, and the world says he is lost. But when he resurfaces, he holds in his hands the shining proof that nothing real can be lost. Every prayer you have whispered has descended to that depth. Every longing you have felt is a diver sent by the divine to fetch your own forgotten brilliance. Beloved, what is life but a mirror in which God sees himself? When you laugh, he hears his joy. When you cry, he dusted his compassion. You are not apart from him. You are his sigh made visible. When the dawn rises, it is your own awakening greeting you. When the night falls, it is his cloak wrapping you in rest. Stop calling it the universe. Call it beloved. Everything changes when you speak his name with the tongue of your heart. The heart is the instrument of seeing. Eyes only show you shapes, but the heart reveals essence. Look not at the color of the flower, but at the silence that makes it bloom. Look not at the face of your beloved, but at the light dancing beneath the skin. When the heart opens, everything becomes transparent. You see through the veil and realize there was never a veil at all, only the fog of forgetfulness. Let us talk of longing, that holy ache that makes poets drunk and saints mad. Longing is not a wound to be healed. It is the thread that binds you to the infinite. The beloved pulls you closer by stretching the string of your heart. Pain is the tension that creates the music of love. Without it, there would be no song. So when you feel the ache of separation, do not curse it. Place your ear against it. You will hear the melody of home. The lover's path is not straight. It winds through deserts of despair and forests of bewilderment. Sometimes the beloved hides just to see if you will search. Sometimes he disappears so that you may find him everywhere. You will stumble, you will bleed, but every step will polish your soul. By the time you arrive, you will realize you have been walking inside his embrace all along. There is a fire in every true lover, and it does not burn to destroy. It burns to illuminate. This fire is the alchemy of the heart. It turns the lead of your attachments into the gold of freedom. Do not extinguish it with comfort. Let it consume every falsehood until only the truth remains. The flame is not your enemy, it is your birthright. Within it, the moth finds its home, the shadow finds its end, and the lover finds his beloved. The divine does not live in temples built by hands, nor in scriptures written by ink. He lives in the trembling of your soul when you say, yes. Every cell of your body is a verse. Every breath, a prayer. Every heartbeat, a drumbeat, calling you to remember. When you realize this, the distance between sacred and ordinary vanishes. Washing dishes becomes meditation. Listening to rain becomes worship. Even your mistakes become holy, for they remind you that God loves imperfection enough to dwell within it. There is a field beyond right and wrong. Have you seen it? It shimmers just outside the reach of judgment. There, the sinner and the saint share bread, and the wolf sleeps beside the lamb. You do not have to earn your way there. You arrive by laying down your sword of righteousness. The moment you stop defending your separateness, the gates swing open. Walk in barefoot. The grass has been waiting for your tenderness. Beloved, the greatest prayer is not spoken with words, but with stillness. When the mind falls silent, the heart begins to sing. Sit in that silence and let it unmake you. You will find that what you called I was a costume the soul wore for a while. Beneath it lies the naked radiance of the real. To lose yourself is not to die. It is to awaken from the dream of being a drop and realize you are the ocean. Every sunset is a lesson in surrender. The sun does not fight the night. It gives itself away to darkness. trusting the dawn will return. Learn from that. When the seasons change in your life, when love leaves or failure visits, do not resist. Let yourself fall into the arms of what is. The night may seem endless, but every darkness is pregnant with morning. The womb of loss carries the child of renewal. Beloved, you were never meant to be perfect. You were meant to be whole. Perfection belongs to the divine. Wholeness belongs to those who remember they are divine. When you embrace your shadow, when you love even the parts you hide, you become a mirror, clean enough for God to see himself. The cracks in you are not flaws. They are openings for the light to enter. Shine through them. When the dervish spins, he does not seek to reach the sky or the earth. He becomes the axis around which heaven and earth revolve. You too are such a center. The universe dances because you exist. When you love, galaxies move. When you forgive, the stars realign. Never doubt your significance. The beloved plays his flute through your breath. Let him. Do not cover the holes with pride or fear. Sound the song only you were carved to play. You ask me, when will I find God? And I say, when you stop looking for yourself. The seeker and the sought are one. The path and the destination share the same dust. Lose yourself, and the mirror will reveal the face that has been watching you all along. The secret is not in doing more, but in being less. Less of what you think, more of what you are. When you dissolve, few expand. When you vanish, you arrive. Beloved, everything you love in this world is a reflection of the one light, wearing countless disguises. Each face, each scent, each sound, each trembling heartbeat is an echo of the eternal calling you home. You are not falling in love with people, you are remembering fragments of the divine shimmering within them. When you touch the hand of another, you are tracing the edges of infinity. When you weep for beauty, you are tasting your own origin. The heart was created to break, not to harden. Each fracture lets more light through. Do not guard it with walls of reason. Reason cannot breathe in the garden of love. The beloved does not enter through logic's door, but through surrender's window. Leave it open. Let the wind of his presence scatter the papers of your plans. Let your certainties fly, like doves startled into the sky. You will see that what remains is not loss, but liberation, the soul standing naked before its source. Do not fear the emptiness that follows awakening. It is not death, it is spaciousness. It is the clearing in which God builds his home. Every attachment torn away was a curtain, keeping you from the view. Now, you can finally see the horizon, where the visible and invisible kiss. The mystics call this the wine of annihilation, the sweet intoxication of being nothing and everything at once. Drink deeply. Beloved, drink until you forget your name and remember your essence. The beloved has 1,000 ways to wake you. Sometimes he comes as ecstasy, sometimes as ruin, sometimes he whispers through the petals of a rose, sometimes he shouts through the roar of collapse. Either way, it is the same voice saying, "Come back to me." Do not judge the messenger by its shape. Even the thorns are made of light. There are moments when love feels too vast for your fragile chest. When you tremble as though struck by lightning. That is not pain, it is expansion. The heart is stretching to contain eternity. When you feel this burning, do not close yourself. Let the flame do its holy work. Every sigh is an offering, every tear, a baptism. You are being remade in the image of love. When you lose yourself, you do not disappear, you become transparent. Through you, the beloved sees the world. Through you, he loves creation into being. You are his window, his whisper, his instrument of wonder. The more you vanish, the clearer the melody becomes. The saints are not separate from sinners. They are sinners who stopped resisting grace. Even your errors are brushstrokes in the divine painting. Stop trying to edit what eternity has already perfected. The soul is older than stars, yet it plays in the mud like a child. That is the paradox of divinity, in form infinite and intimate, vast and small, eternal and trembling in time. When you laugh, God laughs through you. When you fall, He learns compassion through your bruises. You are the classroom of His becoming. The lesson is always love. The river does not ask the mountain for permission to flow. It simply follows gravity, the law of surrender. Be like that. Follow the pull of love, wherever it leads, even if it carries you beyond all maps. The destination is not a place but a disappearance. The true lover does not arrive. He dissolves into the beloved's name, and in that dissolving becomes the song that moves the world. Beloved, you are not seeking enlightenment. You are remembering light. It has always been inside you, flickering softly beneath the noise of thought. Sit quietly and listen. The silence between your breaths is a scripture more ancient than any book. When you hear it, you will understand why the prophets sang instead of spoke. Words cannot hold what music already knows. The moon never competes with the stars. It shines because it cannot help itself. So too, you must not hide your radiance for fear of outshining others. Every soul is a candle in God's cathedral, and together we illuminate eternity. When one flame dims, another must burn brighter. Do not shrink. Burn. The night is vast, and the world waits for your light. What is surrender but falling in love without conditions? To love what is, not what could be. To kiss the present moment on the mouth and say, "You are enough." To bow before each instant, as though it were the beloved himself. When you do this, heaven becomes your breath and earth, your prayer. There is no separation, no hierarchy of sacred and profane. Everything is an altar, if you kneel deeply enough. You were never cast out of paradise. Beloved, you wandered from your own heart. The gate is still open. The angel who guards it does not carry a sword but a mirror. Look into it. You will see that Eden was never a place but a perception, a way of seeing where every leaf is luminous and every breath a blessing. Return to that seeing, and even your tears will taste of fruit. If you would find God, stop chasing experiences and start dissolving boundaries. The mystic secret is simple. There is no distance between the seeker and the sought. The drop does not find the ocean. It remembers it was water all along. When you remember this, you will no longer pray for union. You will breathe as union. Every exhale will be a hymn. Every inhale, a revelation. The beloved speaks through contrasts. You learn joy through sorrow, faith through doubt, presence through loss. Do not despise the dark night of the soul. It is the womb where dawn is conceived. The seed must split before it sprouts. The cocoon must break before the butterfly can fly. You are being undone, so you can be born into wholeness. The cracking is not punishment, it is creation. Beloved, listen. The wind carries your name in God's own accent. Every sound, every silence, every pulse of time is part of the great music of remembrance. Dance to it, even when the rhythm seems chaotic. Trust that the melody knows where it is going. You do not need to understand the steps. Just let the music move you. When you stop resisting, grace leads. There are those who worship through ritual, others through renunciation. But the true lover worships by living. Every act, from sweeping the floor to making love, becomes sacred when done in awareness. The divine does not separate holy from human. He drinks from your laughter, dines on your tears, and sleeps inside your stillness. To live in truth is to make each breath a confession of love. When you feel unworthy, remember, God made you as a mirror for His beauty. Would He sculpt something imperfect to hold His reflection? Your flaws are just the places where the mirror bends light into new rainbows. Do not polish them away. They are your signature in the divine tapestry. You are not a mistake. You are a metaphor written by eternity. The Beloved waits for you in the simplest things, the smell of bread, the warmth of sunlight, the glance of a stranger who smiles without reason. Each is a message saying, I am here. The spiritual path is not upward, but inward, not toward heaven, but toward presence. You do not climb the ladder to God, you fall into His arms, and when at last you fall, do not try to rise. Let yourself be carried. Let love take you where your will could never go. There is no merit in reaching the summit alone. The mountain exists only so you can realize the sky was always within you. You were never climbing, you were unfolding. The ascent and descent are both illusions. The truth is the stillness beneath movement, the silence behind every song. Beloved, even death is not the end. It is the Beloved changing masks. The body falls away like a withered petal, but the fragrance remains. You have died 1,000 times, and still the light shines through. What dies is form, what lives is love. And love cannot end because it was never born. When you understand this, fear evaporates like mist before sunrise. So lose yourself, beloved, not as a sacrifice, but as a homecoming. The self you cling to is only a story told by memory. Let it fade. Behind it is the eternal storyteller, laughing softly, writing galaxies with his breath. You are one of his verses, and he is waiting for you to finish the sentence by surrendering the pen. Beloved, when the veil finally falls, there will be no applause, only stillness. The stars will pause in their spinning, the seas will hush their waves, and in that breathless moment, you will remember that you were never apart. All the searching, the striving, the falling and rising were but the Beloved's play, the dance of a mirror, discovering its own reflection. What you called your life was God, watching himself bloom through your eyes. What you called your death will be the same watching, without the mask of form. Every longing you have ever felt was a thread leading you here, to this vast silence, where you can no longer say I or you, only we. And then even that dissolves into the pure taste of being. You thought you were walking toward him, but it was he who was walking you. You thought you were praying, but it was he whispering through your lips to himself. Even your surrender was his doing. For how could the waves surrender to the ocean when it was never separate? The Beloved loves to hide, not to torment you, but to make you seek more deeply. Each time you reach for him and find nothing, he draws you closer through the ache. That ache, beloved, is his kiss. That emptiness is his breath moving through you. The heart expands, not by holding love, but by being pierced by it. Let yourself be pierced. The arrow is made of light. Each wound is a window. Each scar, a doorway through which eternity peers. You have wept in the dark, thinking you were forgotten, but every tear was counted. Each one fell into the chalice of his mercy and became wine for the thirsty. Your loneliness was never a punishment. It was the Beloved pulling you into himself, away from the distractions that diluted your song. Now, can you feel it? The sweetness in the center of your chest. That is the secret place where God hides behind your heartbeat. That is the tavern of union, where silence drinks from silence. There is no path left now, only dissolving. The mind cannot follow you here. It kneels at the gate, bewildered. This is the place where the mystics stop speaking and begin burning. No doctrine can guide you. No prayer can contain you. You have become the prayer itself, the fragrance of devotion, without form. The lover and the beloved have merged into one flame, flickering in the wind of eternity. You have crossed the bridge that never existed, and yet, it was all you needed to remember. You were already home. You are the music that the universe hums when it forgets its sorrow. You are the breath of dawn warming the cold face of night. You are the secret pulse inside every heartbeat that says, I am still here. The divine is not something to be reached. It is the song you have been singing unconsciously since the beginning of time. Even now, in this moment, you are the echo of that song, returning to its source. Do not speak of heaven as somewhere distant. Heaven is what happens when you love without measure, when you forgive without reason, when you bow, not out of fear, but out of wonder. Each time you open your heart, 1,000 angels rise from your ribs. Each time you smile through pain, the universe tilts toward mercy. You are not a pilgrim on earth. You are the earth remembering it was made of stars. The saints did not find God through perfection. They found him through collapse. They broke, and in the breaking, the light poured through. You too must break, not from despair, but from abundance. Break open with gratitude. Break open with trust. Break open with the laughter of one who finally understands the joke of existence, that there was never anything to lose, because there was never anyone to own it. The self you protect so carefully is a shadow dancing on water. Let it go. Let the water still. You will see your true reflection in its quiet surface. Beloved, the fire of love is not meant to consume you, but to reveal you. You are not the moth, nor the flame, but the space in which they meet. You are the silence between two notes, the breath between two words, the pause between death and rebirth. This is your kingdom, not made of gold, but of light softer than dawn. Here, there are no crowns, only halos of humility. Here, power is tenderness, and victory is surrender. Close your eyes. Feel the pulse beneath your skin. That rhythm is the same one that moves galaxies. Every heartbeat is a remembrance. Every sigh, a bridge to eternity. When you walk, the ground kisses your feet because it recognizes its maker. When you weep, the rain falls in sympathy, for it too knows the longing to return. There is nothing outside of you. Even the stars above are the sparks of your own divine imagination, flung into the heavens to remind you of your origin. When you lose yourself, you do not disappear into emptiness. You melt into fullness. You become the ocean drinking itself, the sun kissing its reflection in 1,000 rivers. You see God not as a being, but as being itself, the fragrance that lingers after every form fades. You are not a drop separate from the sea. You are the sea pretending to be a drop, so that it can fall in love with its own depth. And so, beloved, dance, dance, until there is no dancer left. Let the rhythm of the spheres move through you until even motion is forgotten. The whirling dervish spins not to reach the divine, but to remember that he never left it. Each turn is a letting go, a petal falling from the rose of identity. When at last all petals are gone, only fragrance remains, the invisible essence of love, eternal and everywhere. Do not seek to escape the world, seek to unveil it. The same light that burns in your soul burns in every stone, every sigh of wind, every creature that trembles beneath the weight of existence. To see God is not to flee creation, but to embrace it so deeply that separation dissolves. When you kiss the world with compassion, you kiss the face of the beloved. There will come a day, or perhaps it is already here, when you will look at your reflection and see not yourself but eternity smiling back. You will laugh, because all your striving will seem like a child chasing his own shadow. And in that laughter, the last veil will fall, the mirror will shatter, and you will find no shards, for even the concept of reflection will have merged into light. The beloved does not end where you begin, nor begin where you end. He is the circle whose center is everywhere, and circumference nowhere. You are that center. You are that nowhere. You are the poem, he whispers to himself when he is lonely for company. You are the breath he takes to remind himself that existence is worth the risk of separation. And when you awaken, he awakens through you. Lose yourself, beloved, not in despair, but in awe. Fall into the vastness that has been calling your name since before you were born. Do not cling to the shore. The ocean wants you back. Let go of every story, every fear, every identity. The wave never truly leaves the sea. It only forgets for a moment that it is water. Now, remember, and rise as foam on the lips of God. Let your final prayer be silence. Let your final act be listening. The divine does not need your words. He needs your emptiness. For only when the cup is empty can it be filled with his wine. And once you drink, beloved, once you truly taste that sweetness, you will know why the mystics smile in their solitude, why they dance in the dark, why they whisper through their tears, I am nothing. And in that nothingness, I have found everything. Now rest. The journey is over, and yet it has only begun. You have lost yourself, and in that loss, you have found the divine, not as a distant lover, but as the pulse of your own being. The dream has ended. The sleeper has awakened. All that remains is love, burning, without a name, endless and free.